back to Inner Peace Place. This is chapter 63, and we're calling it Attachments Are Not Stable. So what I want to do today is introduce a new way to focus, to your awareness, just to focus on things. And by doing this, it may give you insight, new insights in how you could stay in a higher state of awareness. So how can I know when I'm in a good place or not? Maybe that's how I could say it. So to do this little exercise, you want to select an object in the room just to start with. And it can be anything. A person, if there's somebody sitting in the room, an object, something in the room, anything. Then you want to start asking questions about this object. Easy ones like, what is it? Write it down or think it. Is it hard? Is it soft? You want to analyze it. What is its value to you? In other words, do you place a high value on it or a lower value? Ask things like, when's the first time you remember seeing this item? So by doing this, you're taking advantage of your knowledge base from the past. That's what we're doing. Now you want to say, how does this item make me feel right now? Is it good? Or do I feel really good when I think of this item or look at it? Is it neutral? Is it kind of downward spiral, funky? I just don't feel so good about it anymore. Whatever it is, just write it all down. You do have attachments to everything in your environment. To the clouds in the sky, anything. We have some sort of an attachment to it. And through those attachments, we judge whether they're worthy or not worthy of us. That's what we do. It allows your mind to have busy work. Your personality self, your ego is all busy because you're busy, judging. A lot of stuff to do there, especially when everything in your environment requires a judgment. It gives your ego, personality self, the opportunity to feel valuable when you know that you have all this work that you need to do just to stay afloat. You got to constantly be in a state of judgment. Does this bring me, is this good anymore? Is this bad? Is this good? Is this bad? So it does give you an aliveness, a sense of aliveness. So when you are writing all this down, you will have an idea of one item in your life. And if you're bored, you could do it to another item and just see, look for patterns. Again, patterns are good. When you have a pattern, you know that you're consistent. And when you are consistent, you can figure out what creates that, what motivates that. And from there, you can shift it if you so choose. So we looked at all of the feelings that we had about this object. Honestly, don't powder coat things, because if you are looking at something and perhaps it is something that you didn't purchase but someone else did and it is now in your environment, you don't want to think, oh yes, I love it because, or I need it because. It's just whatever it is, truth, just write it down on your paper or think about it. And if you look around and you realize that you hold the same type of attachment to many things in your environment, that would be some good information for you. Again, you can find a pattern there. So you can see your typical nature by doing this activity. Your nature of, do I surround myself with things that bring me joy? Do I surround myself with things that make me feel like I need to be doing something else? Do I surround myself with things that I feel obligated to keep in my life? And that can be people as well. Doesn't have to be a plant. We expose ourselves as humans to an environment, and that environment holds the key to your nature, to what you attract into your life and then allow to stay there. All right, so we've done this to the objects in the room, people included, whatever. Now come back another day and pick a day that you are in a rotten mood, a bad mood. It might be hard for some of you to find those days. But you're in a bad mood and you sit down, hopefully, in the same room, go back to that same room, and look at those same objects and ask the same questions that you did the first time you looked at the objects. Are the answers different when you're in a bad mood? Do they hold different meaning for you, those objects, when you don't feel well or you're in a bad, grumpy mood? Do things rub you the wrong way when you're in a grumpy mood that don't when you're in a happy mood? You see where I'm going with this, don't you? So you're going to find that the value of an object, your attachment to it, isn't stable, depending on where you are. So when you feel a strong connection, you're aware of a strong connection to your higher self, when the world is right, you're going to see different or feel different feelings from the objects around you, the people around you, the animals around you, the plants. You'll feel differently than if you're grumpy or you don't feel well. Our attachments in this life are not stable. They fluctuate. And sometimes it's neutral. So what we want to say is, gee, how do I surround myself with objects, people, my environment? How do I create an environment around me that brings me joy? You have a lot of options. The things that bring you joy when you're grumpy may be very few things, and they may not be the same things that bring you joy when you're a state of bigness, when you're big. Life, earth plane life, isn't stable. So that means the attachment that you place on the items in your life, the animals, the plants, the people, the things, are not stable either. Now, that doesn't mean you want to put up walls of protection so that when things change that you'll be okay. Just have it in your head that I am all-powerful. And through the eyes of my soul self, through a strong connection to my higher self, I can be stable despite what's going on around me, what the environment is holding for me. Because I know that permanency is not an option. Change is inevitable. And that's not bad. It just is. So get big. When your environment isn't bringing you joy, get big. Understand that the value of the things in your environment, your immediate environment, and then also further away from you, maybe some memories, aren't stable, and that can teach you about the fickleness of the personality self. We are fickle. This will always bring me joy. I love you forever until death do us part. That's a personality self-statement because you do not know what your future holds. Obviously, in this moment, you wish that were to be truth. But your next moment and your next moment and your next moment aren't here. And you haven't created, you haven't had that magnetizing agent on your side to create upward flow. Or what if the other individual that you will love forever doesn't create upward flow in their life? What do you do? How do you control somebody else's flow? You can't. Be in the moment with your decisions, with guidance from your higher self every moment. And understand that relationships, items in your awareness, your home, your car, all of these things will change. And stay in a state of bigness so that you can fluctuate and not have to worry about a platform that's stable, that you can be flexible with the all that is. And understand that when you are in that state, you are your most powerful. We've discussed so many different things about our power. But don't give your power away just because at that moment you thought it was going to stay forever the way it was at that moment. Get into this moment. Stand up straight. Take a deep breath and relax and understand that the feelings that you're having right now about that particular item or thought are valid. You want to find the thoughts that bring you joy and understand that things change. It just always will. There are so many opportunities for us if we don't lock ourselves into one particular path and have this illusion that it's going to stay the same way that it was when you created that path. I have some music for you. Rising Appalachia. The name of the song is Harmonize. It's a very beautiful song. If you and I could learn to harmonize with our environment better, day in, day out, moment to moment, inner peace would be at our fingertips, or in our fingertips. Love and light to you and your path. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.